Hi everyone, so today I'm going to give you a little presentation on how to use Cornell Notes. So in this presentation, I'm going to give you a quick history on what Cornell Notes are. I'm going to show you the system of how to write them. I'm going to give you an example from one of my notebooks of when I've used Cornell Notes. And I want to give you some specific subjects that this note-taking system will help you with the most. So, what are Cornell Notes? So, Cornell Notes were created by Cornell University as a way to influence their students more so to write by hand. Because with the increase of technology, a lot of students will just pull out their laptops and take notes by typing, which is completely fine, but it is proven that writing notes will really help you remember the information better. So the college really wanted to hopefully influence their students to do that so they could get better results in their studies. And it was also a helpful way for those without a note taking system to start using these notes instead. So, the Cornell note taking method. So, this is a great diagram of what your notebook should look like when writing Cornell notes. So, ideally, on your top right-hand corner right here, you're going to date the notes that you're taking in class for the day. So whatever that date is, write that on the top right corner. Then on the top left corner, you're going to want to put the unit you're studying for that day and the section, just so when you go back and you're looking at these notes, you know exactly what they were on. So now, while you're in class focusing on the lecture, you're going to want to focus more so on this right side. So you're going to split your notebook in half and save a little section on the bottom for a summary. Of course, your notes don't have to fit all on one page, but this is just a very small version of what it would look like. So on your right side, you're going to want to have the notes that you're taking in class. So while your teacher's lecturing, you're going to write whatever notes you need to on that right-hand side. Also, when after class, you can continue these notes for the day for any homework that you're taking notes on. So that's the unique thing about Cornell Notes is that it requires you to really look back at what you wrote in class that day because you're going to be referencing that exact same page while you're doing your homework. And also, when you have to write your summary eventually, you're going to have to look back at the notes you took in class. So the right-hand side, just to repeat, is for the notes that you're taking during your teacher's lecture for the day. And also, if your teacher assigns homework regarding the same subject or the same topic matter for that day, like maybe there's a document that you have to read and take notes on, you're going to want to put that on the same right side. Now on your left side, this is going to be a smaller section. And what you're going to write on the left side is key terms or certain words that are really important for you to remember. So this could be, if you're in history class, certain historical figures' names. This could be vocab terms that you need to know later for your test. You're going to just want to write those on your left side. So then there's more attention to them, and you know that you need to really review these and look at these for later. Another thing you're going to want to do is write down questions you have. So this could be questions that you had during your teacher's lecture but never got to answer, questions that come up while you're taking your homework. You're going to want to write those questions right next to the subject matter in which the note was. So if when you're looking back, you know what the question was in relation to when you were taking those notes. And then another thing is you want to have little main ideas for your notes just to kind of section them off. And I'll show you that more in the example from my notebook. So now the summary section. So this is going to be after you're completely done with all your notes, the notes from the lecture, the notes from your homework. You're going to put a dotted line and you're going to want to write your summary in a different color. That was one thing one of my teachers recommended to me because this helps it stand out more and really make sure that you understand what you learned in class that day. So the summary only has to be about a paragraph long, even shorter, but you're really just, without looking at your notes, going over what you learned in class, what you learned from your homework, and the main ideas that you remember. So then this will help get a gauge on how much more you need to study this section, or maybe you understand it really well and don't really need to look back at it much. So this is a good gauge to see where you're at for that subject matter. So now these are examples from me taking Cornell Notes. So this was my AP World History notebook. As you see, I forgot to date this section, but ideally your date of what the unit was should be here. You can see that I wrote my title up here. It says Rebellions. And then I started putting little main ideas to kind of section off my notes. So here I have the background of the rebellion I was learning that day. This section was gaining power, and that kind of split off this section. I also have specific notes on the rebellion itself, and that split off the next section. And then on this picture, I apologize for the quality, but as you can kind of see, I have my summary here, and I wrote it in a different color. I wrote it in pencil instead of the blue pen that I was using, and I mentioned what we talked about in class, and then I mentioned what I learned in the homework for that night. Now, this was a shorter version. Some of mine could range from 4 pages of notes. This was about 1.5 pages. Honestly, it doesn't matter. However many notes you need to take to really get a handle on the idea is completely fine. But this is how I used the Cornell Notes in AP Worlds. So now, what classes should you use them for? So I would recommend using this system in classes, where notes are often required or you take them often. Because this will just be a great way to kind of like organize your notes and section them off. I would also recommend them for AP classes and honors classes. Not that you cannot use this system if you're in regular classes. It can be used absolutely for any level of class that you're in. The only reason why I say AP and honors is because they tend to throw more information at you and the information at you faster. You may only go over a certain unit for one day in class. I know we did that a lot for AP Worlds. One historical event would be only gone over one day and you'd never really discuss it again. So that's why I say that it's better for AP and honors classes, because you can really take extensive notes on one subject and have a lot to look back on, even if you don't go into it further in class. But again, any level you can use it for. It's no, if you want to use it for a regular class, completely fine. Also, I would recommend possibly classes with more memorization involved. I'm currently in AP Psychology, and there's a lot of vocab we go over for each topic. So it really helps me to have a lot of notes in place. And I also wanted to say that if you already have a note-taking system that works for you, then don't completely change your system if it works. If you're able to memorize information, it comes to you easily with the notes that you're currently taking, that is completely fine. I know for me, I used Cornell Notes pretty much just in AP World History, and then I never really used them again. To be honest, I wasn't the hugest fan. I liked the note-taking system I had. But this is really great for if you don't have a note-taking system yet, you're not sure how to take notes with all the information that you're learning. This is honestly a very great system and will definitely help you a lot. But again, if you have a note-taking system that you like, feel free to keep it. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it helped. If anything's still a little confusing or you need clarifications on anything, my email is listed there below, and I would be happy to answer any questions you have. So thank you so much.